Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. How are we doing? I finally made it to Iridescent. I'm out of Crimson and I'm pleased. The gameplay you're watching is the actual gameplay where I do hit Iridescent, so you're going to see the little animation towards the end of the video where you're going to see me going from a red emblem to a crimson, an iridescent looking emblem. Yeah, I'm glad it's here. I'm glad I finally made it. The gameplay you're watching, obviously, as I say, is the one where I actually do hit Iridescent. I get almost 2 KD, I get the most hill time in the lobby, and we 100-point club the other squad. So it's definitely worth a watch, even if you don't want to hear me rambling on about my Iridescent grind, which is what we're going to be basically talking about for most of this video. So things we're going to be covering today are going to include how much I've been solo queuing, duo queuing, etc. We're also going to be going into things I've noticed about SR patterns and how you can sort of improve your chances of gaining SR as you're grinding yourself. And then if we have time at the end, I'm just going to do a little bit of a gameplay breakdown, as I normally do in my videos. So, if you're looking forward to seeing any sort of Iridescent gameplay on the channel, make sure you drop a sub to the channel, because it does help. It keeps me motivated to make videos. So, let's crack on. So, the gameplay you've got here, as I say, 2KD. I'm using the sub, so you're going to see me running around like a madman, which is always nice to see. I love to do it. Obviously, I'll pick up an AR there and get a nice 3-piece. But mainly this gameplay is going to be with a sub. I'm currently running a 4-stack. Joe Mercs is the guy I play with quite a lot, and then the other two are some lads I used to play Cold War with. So we are in a 4-stack here. However, that is not what I've been running all the time when playing ranked. So I would say solo queue wise, I have tried to refrain solo queuing on this game for my mental health as much as possible, because it is a grueler. I'd say maybe 10, 15, 20 games in total of solo queued, so it's really not a lot. There's a couple of discords around for you to find people to play with, and oftentimes if I have solo queued, I've found someone who I've managed to win with. I've got them in the lobby afterwards and we've grinded together. So I do my very best not to solo queue. If you want to know a little bit more tips on how to solo queue, feel free to check out the last video actually I made on the channel. It goes into some details on how you can improve your chances of winning when you are solo queuing. So I'd say about 15-20 games solo queuing. I'd then say maybe a fairly even amount of games everywhere else. So I think the main stack I've been doing is maybe duos and trio stacking. Especially with hackers around, for whatever reason, I don't know whether this is the case for everybody else, when I'm not 4-stacking, I'm coming across less hackers. It's only when I'm in a 4-stack that I do seem to come across the hackers, which obviously I want to avoid. So if I've got 3 mates online, I will play with them, but it's not the end of the world. If not, yeah, if I'm with a fairly confident other teammate, I'm happy duo queuing and trio queuing, things like that. So it's not taking me too long to get this grind. As far as I'm concerned, it's a little bit easier to get into Iridescent than it was to get to Challengers in Vanguard. So if you guys don't know, Challenger was the equivalent of Iridescent on Vanguard, which was the last COD, and then Master was the equivalent of Crimson. So a little bit easier. I don't know what that's down to. Maybe I'm better at the game. Maybe it's because I've been more in a 4-stack than I was in Vanguard. I'm not sure, but it was a challenge for me to get to Challenger last season, on Vanguard, but it's not been so bad on this game. Another thing I wanted to say was a couple of patterns I noticed on what causes my SR to go up, what goes down. You're going to see at the end of the video how much SR I do actually get for this game. It's quite a lot, considering I've just got into Iridescent. A lot of people are not getting this much when they're in lower ranks, and that was me too. However, the way I increased the amount of SR I was gaining per game is coming top of the team consistently. That's one thing that I would suggest trying to do. Obviously, that goes without saying, because everyone's trying to play as well as they can. I ran out of ammo there. I wouldn't usually run in there with a knife, by the way, in the gameplay. I just completely ran out of ammo, and the guy just couldn't react quick enough. Sorry, we digress. But yeah, I would recommend not losing your head. If you are at the stage where you are only getting 30 or something SR, 30, 40 SR for a win, you can get out of it, because I was in that exact same position running through Crimson 2. It took me... Crimson 2 was actually a really long haul for me. I don't know why. I got to Crimson 1 pretty quickly. I think I was ranked 17 when I hit Crimson 1. And then it was another... I don't know. Crimson 2 was just a grind. I couldn't get out of it, really. Crimson 3 wasn't so bad either. So, yeah. The way to get out of it, play well individually yourself. Don't worry about what the rest of the team are doing. A dub's a dub, and obviously is better off for you. But if you are still performing well, if you're still dropping a fairly decent KD. You come in top 2 in the leaderboard frequently. Even if you're winning or losing, you should see your SR start to increase. Now, obviously, it's easier said than done because you can't play in a way to guarantee that. You've just got to improve the way you play, generally speaking. But yeah, that's how to do it. If you notice you're not gaining as much SR as you'd want, perhaps consider whether or not you're coming towards the bottom 2 of the team most games. Now, if you're in a 4-stack and you're playing with people better than you, you're never going to be at the top 2 people. So I would probably recommend playing with people who are around your skill rating or maybe a little bit lower. That'd better your chances of gaining an SR, and it would also mean if you're playing with people worse than you or worse ranked than you, for example, you'd get into easier lobbies as well. Now, obviously, that gets tied to the higher rep you rank up, but generally speaking, it's not a bad thing to do. It's not a bad thing to do. Obviously, when you get up to that next rank, you won't be able to play with them anymore, and then it becomes a little bit more of a struggle, but hey, it is what it is. So yeah, other than that, I don't really have anything else much more to say. What I am interested in is how much percentage of the population playing ranked are in Iridescent. I want to, at some point through Vanguard, they did like a standard deviation graph where you could see whether you're in the top 50% if you were in Expert or whatever it was in Vanguard. And I wanted to see something similar here. So hopefully they bring something like that out for us just to see, out of interest more than anything, how well we actually do stack up against the rest of the world playing the game. Because although you might think, oh, I'm only in Diamond or I'm only in Plat or whatever, you actually are you're probably going to be in the higher percentages of the player base. So I think we need a little bit of confidence boost for everyone. I think that'd help. But yeah, that's going to do it. That's a bit of a summary of my Iridescent grind. Unfortunately, they don't have a combat record for ranked, which is unfortunate because I'd love to have been able to see my KD, my score per minute, my, like a leaderboard, that sort of thing. Cold War had it. I know Vanguard didn't, but hey ho, we can dream. We can dream. So we're coming towards the end of the video here. There's a minute on this hill. We win in 33 seconds, and we're going for the dub. I think we decided as a team we're going to try and 100-point club them, and I just choked that kill. I don't know where my bullets were going, if I'm honest. I think I was aiming too high, and maybe I was whiffing some of them over the shoulders, but if I'd have got that kill, we'd have had a good chance of winning right from there. So making sure we've got spawns. Thankfully, the squad I'm with are very capable. We're rotating, which is very important, as you guys know. And I'm thinking, you know what? The team's rotating. There's 27 seconds left. I'm going to go for this. So I thought if we can win on this, it's going to force them to split. They're not going to be able to fully chow Nu at the same time as pushing ult. So it does my teammates a favour. I know it's like, oh, you might as well rotate, but I'm winning the gunfight here. They've got to push this, which means they're not going to send They're not going to send a full squad team over to the news point, which means we win either way. I just wanted to guarantee that 100-point club, you know. So I get the first kill. I don't know how. Unfortunately, I get traded, but we do get the dub in the new hill anyway. So that's going to do it for today's video. As I say, I go 19 and 10, I think it is in the end, with most hill. I lied. I don't get most hill time in the lobby. Joe did. But yeah, that's going to do it for the video. Hope you enjoyed. Let me know how your rank's going if you're here. If you've made it to this part of the video, let me know how your rank journey is going. Yeah, that's me. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you in the next one. Ciao.
Because of how much we're beaten by.
Yeah, true. Yeah. Might take me into Erie. Erie?
United 2-1 up.
2-1 up?
All of them got 2 red cards. Sancho was 1-on-1, took it round the keeper, shot. Williams
Just
was
looks
fucking...
my neighbour. I see my neighbour's garden. Oh, in my neighbour's garden, he's got the footy on.
Yeah.